What's up, Womack Nowstalgia? Dave here with a review of Twice's fourth album, 4. The JYP K-Pop mega group is back once again, never really having us wait too long. They're very active, always putting out stuff, and we've gotten a lot of solo music recently, such as the Chewy album, the second Nyan solo recently. They're always of the mind, and I must say, Twice has really been on the mind for me recently following the release of the Takedown single for the Netflix film K-Pop Demon Hunters. Takedown is a Twice song that's really just 3 of the members, Chaeyoung, Jihyo, and Jonghyun. And man, is that one of my absolute favorite songs Twice has ever made. All 3 of them crushing it. It has amazing attitude, amazing vocal moments, hip-hop moments, a banger beat. That song rules. It's definitely one of my favorite K-pop songs of the year, and they've thankfully at least included that track on the deluxe version of This Is 4. But that is a song that I would love to hear them mimic again in the future, because I thought that was really great. I mean, thinking of Jihyo's amazing vocal strength, Jonghyun's not far behind, Chaeyoung, like her attitude when doing rap, it doesn't always come out the best way, but like that is like it to a T. And you even have like a Jihyo doing some hip hop too. Like I think it's a very impressive song, and yeah, can't say enough good things about it. I really love it. But yeah, now that we have the actual album here, I gotta say I'm a bit surprised. Twice's 4th album, This Is 4, is by far my favorite Twice release they've ever put out, and that's because it's very different from a lot of their past music. This is an album openly embracing Western pop trends with tons of English and just tons of different production styles and singing choices and mixing. The sonic decision-making and creative decision-making is just so unlike a lot of the music they've put out, but they made a lot of songs here that really grabbed me. It's certainly a different vibe for them, and if you've been a big Twice fan for a long time, for perhaps liking their Korean music specifically, this might not be doing a lot for you. It also begs the question if Twice's several years running collaboration with Republic Records is starting to bear some creative fruit here, because this is clearly an album and sound targeted for the West. But I really liked a lot of the songs here. I think the second track, This Is 4, has this very throwback chorus, and it's almost like a strange contrast. I liked Options, has this like Starry Night twinkle to it, very nice flow. I think the Jonghyun vocals really pop on that first verse. Chorus maybe a bit too breathy for me, but at the end, you get this Jihyo outro flex with the vocals real quick, just to remind you how creative a singer she is. Mars, I really like those quick drums here once again. Very big chorus, very cinematic beat. Jihyo belting once again. I think in general, her vocals really stand out throughout this. Her voice is an instrument that the group really relies on most of the time. Right Hand Girl, man, this song is great. One of my favorites here. I think the 808s on this beat are awesome. Electro song. Great chorus, and these verses really move. Peach Gelato I also really enjoyed. I think those keys are quite fun alongside that guitar here. Vocals really stand out again. I like the way the mix and the way the vocals flow on that. It all comes together nicely. I think in general, like if you're thinking about Twice music, because there's so many of members, like they often don't get enough moments to shine on their own music, especially because a lot of these songs are pretty short track lists, you know? So, I have a hard time picking out a lot of individual members' vocals on any given Twice song. It's a lot of harmonizing, it's a lot of group work, and, it almost feels like certain contributions are a bit redundant just because there's not enough opportunity to stand out. That's not, unique to this album. That's kind of just the problem with having a group with that many members. I think Hi Hello also stood out to me. The electronic chimes, very noticeable. Another boppy chorus. I think Chaeyoung's verse, in verse 2, really stood out to me. I do think that Hi Hello hook kind of grates by the end, but the song still has some good bones overall. Also, like, it's kind of surprising. I was getting, like, Hamilton the musical, like, cadences from, like, the Philippa Sue, Renee Elise Goldberry moments on that soundtrack. I was getting, I don't know, just the vibe was, like, coming to me a few different times, surprisingly, just kind of, I think, similar melodies briefly. Then for the rest of the point of the album, you have songs that are not the entire group all at once, which is great because everyone then thus gets more moments to shine. So you have Batitude here, which is still, 4 members here. But I think this one is enjoyable because I think those horns are just a really great mix for the flexing lyrics that this song is all about. I do think it's quite fun because you don't really get this level of bite normally from Twice. I think that's why it sounds so different and the vibe is so different because they're not usually this like in your face with the flexing to that degree, but I quite enjoy it. Perhaps my favorite song here is the next one, Dat Ah Dat Oo, which is Sana, Gio, Dayun, Chaeyoung, and Chui. That one, dare I say it, Jennifer Lopez vibes. Like that's what I was getting. I think the Gio vocal melodies are there for days. I love that orchestral flair to the production. I think the song is very catchy, very revisitable. Let Love Go, I think the beat here is very lively once again. Vocally, though, just fine, nothing spectacular. That violin touch over the drum tempo definitely got my attention. Go, I think the chorus here is not interesting. This one definitely, let me down, given that this was suggesting to me that it would kind of be more of like a hip-hop track. Versus are just kind of okay. I think even the mix is pretty mediocre. There's weird like modulations with the vocals. I don't know. The song doesn't really work for me. And then it's really cool to get the song Talk, which is the 2 MVPs of Twice, Nayeon and Gio. Like those, it's obvious that those 2 carry this group vocally, and to hear them together, it just on their own is a lot of fun. I think these verses are good. The chorus, though, I think is just okay. It's kind of saved by the mix. I think the production overall is pretty good, even if I think vocally the chorus is, whatever. And then Seesaw, I think, is honestly kind of dull by comparison after all those, split tracks between various members of the group. Heartbreak Avenue, again, just okay. And again, my favorite song overall of this time frame has to be Takedown, which has now been added to the deluxe, so we can count it here. Again, that song rules. So yeah, Twice. This is 4. I mean, I'm a big fan of this. I thought they really grabbed my attention in ways they don't usually do. I think of the Twice songs I've liked the most recently have been stuff that's quite dancey, a lot of bass to them. And those are songs that are kind of like moments and B-sides on recent releases. I think of a song like Rush or New off that With Youth EP, for example, right? But this, this definitely suggests something new from them. Now I'm very fascinated to see if Twice continues to go down this route. And, they have a Japanese album coming out next month because of these Women Never Stop Working. They're about to go on a world tour for most of Asia and Australia for this year. So that's probably the last of the music we can expect from them for this year. But you never know. The Strategy stuff came out in December of last year. They're always working. So I'll be curious if this is like the new direction for the group, or if this was more of like a one-off. I'm not sure. I'm hoping to hear more like this. Let me know though. What do you think of Twice? Are you a longtime fan? Are you disappointed by this direction? Are you more in my camp where you're happy with it? Let me know. And for more music reviews, subscribe. And I'll see you next time.